On the Lakers front, there's going to be a tendency over the next couple of days to focus on the roster and its limitations. And I don't want to pretend those limitations don't exist. The Lakers did look unathletic last night. DeAndre Ayton really seemed to struggle with just the level of intensity and physicality underneath the basket. You know, if Rui wasn't getting a wide open three, he seemed to be struggling to score. He put the ball on the floor in the mid-range a little bit and was struggling to get off there. Like, there's certain things where they looked a little athletically overmatched last night, but I always start with the stars. Everything for me trickles down from that idea of exactly what I said about Stephen Curry in the Tuesday night game, if you guys remember. Steph couldn't break down Oklahoma City's defense. Last night, Luka Doncic couldn't break down Oklahoma City's defense, and neither could Austin. Luka was drawing two to the ball, but he wasn't beating the blitz with the right pass. He had a couple of buckets that he got out of it, but there were a lot of turnovers, and there were several sequences where he made like the wrong read. Like, oh, the guy's wide open in the corner, and he's actually guarded on the wing, but I'm going to throw it to the wing, where now it's got to be a second pass to the corner, and so now Shai can make the rotation to Jake LaRavia. He's no longer open. The blitz worked. Or a deflection or a pass that didn't quite get into the right spot. And it's not 100% Luka's fault. There were some plays where guys were there were several sequences where I thought instead of short rolling, guys were rolling too hard to the rim, and now all of a sudden you're just making for some really difficult passing angles. I don't want to pretend like it was all Luka's fault, but the bottom line is when Luka was in single coverage or drop coverage situations, he was unable to score. When he got two to the ball, he was unable to compromise the defense with the right read. Going to Austin, same exact concept. Unable to score when he had scoring opportunities, unable to consistently generate quality advantage opportunities when he would pass the ball. From there, I don't expect anybody in the league to just thrive in any sort of matchup against an elite basketball team if you can't set them up with advantages. In other words, I don't care if that was Herb Jones at the 3, Aaron Gordon at the 4, and Jared Allen at the 5. Just 3 excellent above average starters as role players, two-way guys at those positions next to Austin and Luka. They're still getting their ass kicked last night if Austin and Luka can't compromise Oklahoma City's defense. I think it's important to separate those issues. Yes, do the Lakers have an athleticism shortcoming? Absolutely. Is LeBron going to be able to help? Yeah, to some extent. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. They're probably still going to need some sort of assistance in athleticism and two-way play at some point down closer to the trade deadline through the flipping of contracts like Maxi Kleber and Gabe Vincent and things along those lines. Like, yeah, that's a conversation we can have, but they're dead on arrival if Austin and Luka can't generate quality shots, if LeBron can't help them generate quality shots against the Thunder. We talk about this all the time. It's about advantage creation. If you establish easy opportunities for your role players because of how good your stars are, they're probably going to thrive. If you don't generate quality opportunities for them because you're not setting them up with great advantages, they're probably going to look limited. And that's what it came down to for me last night. Austin and Luka weren't breaking the Thunder defense at the point of attack, which was shortening all those windows, all those driving lanes, all those closeouts. Every little opportunity was just tight and congested. And so, of course, they really struggled against an elite defense when they weren't being gift-wrapped advantages, which is the job of Austin and Luka. So I think you're going to see a lot of talk about the Lakers roster over the course of the next couple of days before they play again. I think that's kind of missing the point of what happened last night. If Austin and Luka go in there and they drop 60 on 65% true shooting and they don't turn the basketball over and OKC starts reacting to them and they make the kick out passes and the reads that get guys quality opportunities, I think Rui has a better game. I think Ayton has a better game. I think Jake LaRavia has a better game. I think all of them have better games. I think those things are connected. And I just think, I think last night was mostly about OKC just destroying the Laker offensive initiators. One last note on the Lakers before we move on. Luka Doncic in his last 5 games has taken 88 jump shots, and he's gotten just 64 points, just 0.73 points per shot. It's been something that kind of started to show in that Miami Heat game, and it's been pretty consistent down the line over the course of the last week and a half. If Luka's not making jump shots, it kind of takes him down from that, like, I'm in the conversation with the very best player in the world, like Jokic, to I'm just another guy in that top tier. And that to me is kind of like a differentiator between the levels that Luka can reach, and he just hasn't been shooting the jump shot super well as of late. Obviously, small sample size. It was a small sample size when he was shooting amazing to start the year. It's a small sample size when he's shooting terribly right now. Ultimately, what level this team can get to is going to have a lot to do with what does Luka's large sample jump shooting look like. Is he going to be able to consistently knock down those short jump shots, especially when they get into big playoff moments? Just something to keep an eye on as we get further into the season.